Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. With a good season, Warriors fans are confident that they will reach the playoffs. If they maintain this level of performance, yes, they will reach the playoffs. But can this squad win the championship now? No, there's still something missing, and the ideal player to make the Warriors favorites will be Jimmy Butler. Rumors, deal with Miami Heat could happen at any time. With Jimmy Butler injured, the Miami Heat snapped their three-game losing streak to win 95-94 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The result leaves them 4-5 and sitting at 6th in the Eastern Conference table. Only two teams, Boston Celtics and Cleveland Cavaliers, have a winning record in the East right now. It has been a disappointing start to the season for the Heat, and questions have been raised about whether it is time for them to shake up the roster. That would most likely include saying goodbye to Jimmy Butler. He is a franchise legend and has guided them to 2 NBA Finals since joining in 2019. But at 35 years of age, Butler seems to be slowing down and has not looked great this season. Also, his injury problems do not seem to be getting any better. His contract situation makes things complicated as well, as he has a player option for the 2025-26 season. So, all things considered, it would make sense for Miami to explore possible trade options for Butler. The Golden State Warriors are one team who are rumored to hold an interest in the veteran. Would it make sense for the Heat to try and bring in Jonathan Kuminga from the Warriors as part of a Butler trade? Ben Verberg wrote in the Sporting News, "It might be time for the Heat to move on from their star player and get something in return. The Warriors have the perfect player for Miami to build around in the future in Jonathan Kuminga. The stars could not be more perfectly aligned for these two teams to make a trade. Stephen Curry and the Warriors are a win-now team, and the Heat are always looking to be one step ahead. Kuminga has seen his role diminished in the early goings of the season, and moving to a new organization could work wonders for his development. The Warriors and Kuminga did not end up agreeing a contract extension this offseason. He will be looking for a major deal next summer. The Warriors might not be open to handing Kuminga the level of contract that he might be looking for. So, including him in a trade package for Butler might make the perfect sense for them. On the other hand, the Bay Area might be the perfect place for Butler at this point in his career. He would not be the face of the franchise, but rather the supporting star to Stephen Curry as he eyes his 5th ring. The Warriors are already good right now, but getting someone like Butler could help take them to the next level. Warriors named ideal trade destination for $146.3 million star. Bay Area would be the ideal landing spot for Jimmy Butler. The veteran forward would bring a gritty form of two-way production to the Warriors' rotation. His future with the Miami Heat has been a talking point since the 2024 playoffs. The Warriors might be off to a strong start, but they still haven't filled the void for Stephen Curry's co-star, Buckley wrote. Butler, a 6-time All-Star who has delivered some of the strongest postseason performances in recent memory, would finally, and definitively, put an end to Golden State's second-star search. Curry's anywhere in the gym shooting range would give Butler optimal spacing to dominate the in-between area where he operates, while Butler's playmaking and scoring would pull defensive attention away from Curry's off-ball activity. Butler, a 6-time All-Star, could prove to be the Warriors' missing piece in their search for another championship. Their defensive versatility with him and Draymond Green would become a core part of the team's identity. The Heat are unlikely to let Butler leave on the cheap, despite his $48.7 million salary and player option for next season. Pat Riley's team are bereft of tradable assets. Trading Butler would be the ideal way to restock the cupboard while adding some exciting young talent. Mike Dunleavy Jr. would likely have to part with at least one of Brandon Podziemski, Jonathan Kuminga, or Moses Moody. Multiple draft picks would likely be part of the deal, too. That's the cost of adding another star. If the Warriors are truly aiming to give Curry another shot at a championship, Butler is a smart fit. He would provide Kerr's team with a different dimension on both ends of the floor. And he has a reputation for raising his game in the postseason. According to Sam Amick of The Athletic, Butler could be a name for Warriors fans to watch out for. While rival executives believe the Warriors are more willing than ever to include Kuminga in a trade of significant magnitude, the fact remains that they're setting their sights very high in terms of possible targets, Amick wrote on November 1. One name to monitor is Jimmy Butler, the 35-year-old Miami Heat star who league sources say drew interest from the Warriors during the offseason and who did not come to terms on an extension. He'll be an unrestricted free agent next summer. Butler is averaging 18.3 points, 5.4 rebounds, and 4.3 assists over 833 regular season games. He's shooting 32.8% from three-point range and 47% from the field. At 35 years old, Butler is entering the final stage of his career. His hunger to compete at the highest level and add a championship to his resume could mesh well with the Warriors' veteran core. Nevertheless, a lot would depend on whether Miami is willing to let Butler leave. Especially when he would be strengthening a potential rival team. Warriors' search for a starting shooting guard is over. The Golden State Warriors have been looking for a starting shooting guard to replace Klay Thompson since he left for the Dallas Mavericks this offseason. Their roster is full of capable players to fill the role. Coach Steve Kerr has started the season experimenting with different starting lineups and has changed who is in the starting shooting guard role multiple times in the team's first 10 games. After Sunday's win against the Oklahoma City Thunder, however, it appears that the team may have finally found its starting shooting guard. Against the Thunder, the Warriors trotted out a brand new starting lineup for the game, which included DeAnthony Melton in the starting shooting guard spot alongside Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Tracy Jackson-Davis, and Andrew Wiggins. Melton was a force on both ends of the floor, scoring 19 points and adding 10 rebounds and 3 steals in just 27 minutes of playing time. Steph draws eyes on his drive, including both of the weak side defenders. As Buddy clears to the corner, Melton lifts. Steph finds him, Melton drills the big three. Melton missed 6 games early on with a back injury but has looked great since returning. His performance Sunday was significant for the Warriors since Kerr has been looking to fill the starting shooting guard role all season. So far, Wiggins, Moses Moody, Buddy Hield, Lindy Waters III and Gary Payton II have all started games at shooting guard. The Warriors' changing around of lineups has been about early season injuries as much as it has been about experimenting with fit. The Warriors need a starting shooting guard who can play 3 essential roles in their starting lineup: space the floor with three-point shooting, guard the opposing team's best guard, and take some of the ball-handling pressure off of Stephen Curry. Melton proved on Sunday that he can do all 3. "I think it gives us a really good two-way lineup," Kerr said, per NBC Sports Bay Area. "You saw what Melton could do at both ends. He's a really good passer, an excellent three-point shooter, and a really good on-ball defender as well. I would like for that starting group that was out there tonight," he added. "I would like for that group to be our group going forward." Steve Kerr plans to keep DeAnthony Melton as the starting shooting guard and wants that Curry, Melton, Wiggins, Draymond, TJD group to be the starting lineup moving forward. With a starting lineup and clearer depth chart hierarchy, the Warriors are entering their next phase of the season ready to build some continuity. Their big win against the Thunder was a message to the rest of the league that they are a legitimate force in the West. They're off to an incredible 8-2 start despite battling injuries and lineup uncertainty. With their starting shooting guard spot clear for the foreseeable future, they will only get better, which should scare the rest of the league.